They have set up a moral system in which a man can fuck whoever they want, do whatever the fuck they want, and a woman can't do that because you don't understand. Women fuck for emotions, and that's actually cheating. Whereas when men fuck, that's just because they're horny, and that's totally different. The cult of fresh and fit.
This is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway.
This is Myron, about to say the dumbest thing of all time.
I think if you're in a serious relationship with a girl, she should not have an Instagram. That's cheating, in my opinion. I think a woman having an Instagram is 100% cheating, especially if she has scantily clad photos.
Scantily clad? My dude just said scantily clad?
Why art thou maidenless, Myron? My maiden
Chill, let's watch this for a
scantily
second.
clad photos of herself on her Instagram. That's cheating. Let me guess, she decided to venture without you outside.
Brother, if you're asking for the Naomi Klein documentary, okay, which is not surprising, you're a 36-month subscriber. If you're asking for the Naomi Klein documentary 6 hours and 25 minutes into the broadcast, let me tell you something. It's not happening, okay? Like, you know, you've been in here for 36 months. You know that, like, after 6.5 fucking hours of, like, literally nonstop news coverage, I'm not going to give you a fucking documentary shot in, like, 2007 about workers' councils and worker cooperatives, okay? I know you want it because you're a freak, and you're like, nah, it's just like I've been in this community for 3 years. I clearly have like incredibly, incredibly high stages of fucking brain rot. But no, let me tell you, it's not happening. We're not doing that. We're going to do some fun reacts, okay? Like this.
She did indeed.
Bro, you did the British accent for 3 hours? Okay, so what, motherfucker? Sometimes I like to dilute.
This take is from the Fresh and Fit podcast, hosted by Myron and Walter, the new emerging leaders of the Red Pill Order. Now, it doesn't take a genius to conclude that this is a soup brain take. Unfortunately for us, this happens to be one of the many dense talking points that leaves this boiler room of alpha.
You live in the United States?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have running water?
Yes.
You have electricity?
Mm-hmm.
You have food in the fridge?
Yeah.
Okay, you got nothing to be depressed about. There's children right now that don't even have clothes. If I'm in my prime, right, why would I want a woman that's on her decline?
Decline?
Yes. Once a woman passes 30 years old, she is steadily declining. As men age, we get better with time. You guys are no longer going to go into this gender war with a fucking butter knife. With us, we're going to arm you guys with bazookas.
They call this special blend of delusionally confident misogyny a podcast. The Fresh and Fit podcast happens to be surging in popularity in the Red Pill Alpha Chad manosphere, and despite multiple creators dogpiling
Love
them
these guys.
relentlessly, they are still finding extreme success. Between their Patreon, YouTube revenue, as well as various other ways they monetize their loyal fan base. They're even selling the High Value Academy course, which of course is
100% a HasanAbi head.
complete and utter garbage that they're peddling for $700. Hi, sorry, I just needed to interrupt and say they're grifters, guys. Come on, they're grifting. This is one massive f***ing grift, okay? And oh my God, I apologize for this lighting. I don't know what this guy was thinking. God damn it, we'll fix it in post, I promise. Back to the show. Alright, let me clarify some things before we start analyzing this alpha podcast. I will try my best to refrain from using what they call shaming language, like
stupid, or egotistical, or homophobic, or misogynistic, or transphobic.
And to be clear, I think that...
By the way, I'm going to skip the what is the manosphere and Red Pill Explain part and get back to... and probably skip it over to they can't be reasoned with, because if you've been in this community for a long enough time, you already know that you already know what the fucking manosphere is, and you already know what red pilling is, and you've heard it many, many times. So we're gonna skip that part.
They are all those things and more.
But you can watch this video if you want. It's called The Cult of Fresh and Fit from Frank Laudnry.
how Myron reacted to being called mean.
I say you mean, it is what it is. What the fuck you want me to say?
That's not the truth,
mean,
though.
you mad about I said mean? You grown as hell.
Well,
Yeah, well.
I also don't have an interest in exposing their hypocrisy, like them simping.
Simp guy, simply put, is a guy who gives free attention to a woman or women / validation and or money or resources without getting anything in return sexually.
yeah, no worries.
Let's see the bill. God damn, that's somebody's rent money.
Walter getting finessed by a white girl from a sugar baby site.
Honestly, she didn't want to do this live stream. She's doing this for me, so I appreciate her for that.
Do I know you?
Do I know you?
This P-word is wet. Come take a dive.
Or Myron having close relations with random white guys. These are all amazing! God's gift to humanity right here. Look how happy Myron is here, smiling from ear to ear with a full head of hair. Who would have ever thought that he would grow into the woman-hating bald man he is today from these beautiful pictures? Also, any take using this photo to discredit Myron is homophobic. Straight up and fresh. Looks adorably shy with his girlfriend. It's sweet.
Beta.
While this type of behavior is hypocritical for them to engage in, them spending the money they earn from grifting to red pill misogynists on spoiling women who do not care about them, and Myron at one point in his life breaking down the toxic masculinity between him and his homies. I mean, that's just a massive W. A lot of criticism of Fresh and Fit ultimately ends in homophobia or more misogyny, which kinda just defeats the whole entire point. Nah, in this video we're gonna focus on the biggest sin known to man. Bad arguments. This is a theory I've been working on, alright? And it's just a theory, so just bear with me. Women are usually happier when their men are physically and emotionally Oh,
Hey,
no,
hey,
you
this
didn't.
Is a theory.
What are you
this is a theory,
talking
all right?
about?
Let me finish
What are
my
you
point,
talking
please.
about? No,
Quiet.
I disagree.
Before I kick
disagree.
you out the show.
Screw
Quiet.
you one mic at a time, okay?
Put the bald cap on, dude. That's devastating. Wow, this fucking guy. If he says he's not gonna make fun of them for being maybe gay, we don't know, or being a simp, we don't know. But then he fucking makes fun of them for being bald. That's baldophobia, brother. He can't control that. He was born that way. How dare you? How fucking dare you? Anyway, this part is going to be like explaining the manosphere, which is why I'm skipping it, because you already know. We've covered it so many times. And we're going to go into directly, they can't be reasoned with.
Alright, so we're in the editing bay, and I am making one of my first cuts, because, you know, this video is not going to be perfect, y'all. The reason why I paused it here is because I started to get a little bit uncharitable, I guess I could say. I made a pretty big claim here that Fresh and Fit's rhetoric is only driven by a hatred for women, and that's where a lot of their talking points stem from. But I never really made that clear, which is pretty easy to do. It's so easy to do that I figured I'd take a moment to pause the video and make it clear as day. Let me just pull it back on the screen real quick. So this is a debate that Fresh and Fit had with some Australian podcasters. The subject matter of the debate was, if women can't have an Instagram, why should men be able to have an Instagram? I'm boiling things down a lot here, but I'll include the full video down below if you have the stomach to watch it. Please do, I guess. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It was hard to watch. I ain't even gonna lie to you. If you remember back to the beginning of this video, the point Fresh and Fit made was that it is cheating for women to have an Instagram, especially if she has scantily clad photos of herself on said Instagram.
I think if you're in a serious relationship with a girl, she should not have an Instagram. That's cheating, in my opinion. I think a woman having an Instagram is 100% cheating, especially if she has scantily clad photos of herself on the internet and she's not making money.
The Australian podcasters actually did a great job of owning Fresh and Fit in the marketplace of ideas, if you will. So I'll just let the clip play.
Just want to make one point. So if I'm on Instagram and I'm getting 40 DMs and you're getting 20 DMs, my point is that you guys are more likely to respond to the 20 DMs than we are to the 40 DMs.
Here's the thing. Men and women are not the same. Women, women
minimal likely to
attention.
reply.
Women like attention. Men want sex. That's how it is. So when a girl's out there advertising herself, it's not the same as when a man is advertising himself, because a man's not going to get nearly the same amount of attention. And then on top of that, men of status, men that are attractive, that have money, hey, it's just exercising options. Men are going to go ahead and enact on those options if they have the ability to do so. So my thing is, a man is capable of having sex with other women while still loving his girl the same. So it's not that big a deal, but it is a big deal.
You know, one of the best things about these guys is that, like, they've done the classic, like, they're really dumb. They're not even, like, trying to carry themselves as, like, debate perverts who, like, always try to hide behind, like, a intellectual veneer, right? They try to claim that they're, like, actually fucking, you know, smart debate perverts do. They don't do that, right? But they do have the tendency, just like debate lords, to create a moral system in which they have like, infallible characters, right? Their moral compass is perfect, is perfectly logical. They have set up a moral system in which a man can fuck whoever they want, do whatever the fuck they want, and a woman can't do that because you don't understand. Women fuck for emotions, and that's actually cheating. Whereas when men fuck, that's just because they're horny, and that's totally different. Of course, within this moral system, there is no interest in trying to understand a woman's opinion, or even recognize the personhood of a woman, because that would be lame and awful, and obviously they're not going to mention any of that. So their worldview revolves around women being objects of desire, and also something you can exploit, something you can use for clout, something you can fuck, and that's pretty much it. And that's why they can get away with, like, building these kinds of fucking narratives and arguments. It's so fucking transparent in the way that he's describing it right now.
If your girl's out here and are fielding options, if your woman's out here fielding options,
Bingo.
that's an issue.
Bingo.
Oh, sorry. So you're actually saying that in a relationship, it's okay for men to go and explore other options, but we have to be happy with you and not explore options.
Absolutely. Closed on your end, open on my end. And I think, to be honest, between the two,
y'all,
I feel bad for Hasan having to watch all this shit for content. Wow. What do you mean? I love this shit.
that is clear as day. I can't make it any clearer. It's okay for men to be disloyal in a relationship, but not women. The reason, because men and women are different. There is no reasoning behind this take. It is just men should be able to do it because men should be able to do it, and women shouldn't be able to do it because they should just be subservient to the men that they're with. Not only was their argument incredibly weak, with no foundation in actual fact, but when they lost the debate, listen to their response.
we don't give a what these losers over there gotta say. These guys are over here fucking coddling women and lying and all this other bullshit, trying to be like, oh my God, let's virtue signal. Yes, men and women are the same. Oh my God.
Oh,
Wait,
dude.
no.
Oh, dude. Owned. Chat. New HasanAbi rule. Are you ever feeling like you want to brave the treacherous waters of the intellectual marketplace of ideas? And maybe your interlocutor has decided that you are fucking owned. Maybe they've trapped you into a logical conundrum. Maybe you are coming across as illogical. Perhaps you found yourself being hysterical even. Oh my God, you might have even shown emotion. Hit him with the virtue signaling counter. You will own every single person in that argument collectively. All of the people in your side will immediately turn around and go, oh my God, you're so right. They are virtue signaling. It works every fucking time. Destroyed. They destroyed those Australians.
No. Yo, you know what I'm saying? We don't bend, we don't fold. They can go suck up dick.
This is the reaction from them losing the debate. Anyone with two brain cells together would recognize that they lost this debate, miserably so. But yet, they didn't. Because they can't lose. Because no matter what, if you disagree with them, you are blue-pilled. Y'all, this video has been mentally and emotionally taxing because it is just hatred for women that floats the boats of Fresh and Fit, that keeps their empire sustaining and profitable, and that's what's so hard, y'all. But I'm gonna let y'all get back to the video.
I even read Myron's...
Isn't it obvious that they're just grifting? It is, but it doesn't really matter because what do I always say? If enough people are just as stupid and you have firmly laid on top of centuries of human existence and the structures that human existence is created in the form of patriarchy, you can very easily get away with grifting that way. It's not even difficult. Because people literally are like, oh, I believe that. And you're telling me what I believe. And you have shrouded yourself in this like fake machismo. And I am conditioned into thinking that you're an intelligent person because I agree with you. That's how it works. People want their biases to be confirmed rather than people want their biases to be confirmed rather than have to actually check their own preconceived notions. So they'll pay for that privilege. And considering that the structures that exist are already conditioning people into believing that like women are property, women should be objectified, all this sort of stuff, as a consequence of the patriarchy, there are plenty of people who are just as dumb as the Fresh and Fit guys who want to hear what the Fresh and Fit guys have to say. And that makes them feel better. It's easier to have your biases being reinforced rather than have to check them and try to change your mind.
Book? Unplugging from the Matrix of Fitness and Game. Confessions of an Ex-Nerd Turned Womanizer. The first sentence of this book is literally, "You've been lied to." The fitness industry has been lying to you about how to get in the best shape of your life. The media and women themselves have been lying to you about what really makes females attracted to you. And then in chapter 2, he tells us his villain origin story. It was June 2008, and we were weeks away from graduating high school. I was sitting in class during a lesson, and out of nowhere, a guy named Mike, who was sitting behind me in class, grabbed my tricep, and without a care in the world, told me, "Wow, dude, you really fucking skinny." Instantly, the girls in the class bursted out in laughter, laughing at how skinny I was. In his free book, one of the first pieces of his sales funnel to—
Listen, bro, at least he didn't become a school shooter, okay? Because that seems like a manifesto in the writing, in the making.
Converts you into a customer. He's catering to disenfranchised men who have been ridiculed and laughed at by others in society. And he's catering to them specifically just to take their money. There is no winning here, because no matter what you say, you will always be blue-pilled, stuck in the Matrix. It's what's so dangerous about this movement and why it should actually be of real concern.
I wonder which
we've watched.
I wonder which community this guy hangs out in. I'm sensing some similarities. Interesting.
Watched Fresh and Fit before, the red pill super misogynist that just berate women. That's their brand. That's the source of their grift. Y'all already know this. I just wanted to catch you up because today we're going to be looking at their sources. Someone in the chat just let me know that they have a link tree to all of their sources for this garbage that they spit on their podcast. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Hopefully we can make this into a YouTube video. So best behavior, chat, okay?
Motherfucker said narcissistic. Chatters really will say anything. Like, he said narcissistic, bro.
I'm not trying to get stunlocked today. First video, facts versus feelings. They still don't see facts. Looks like they're pulling a, looks like they're following the lead of our good old Ben Shapiro.
Facts don't care about your feelings. And let me tell you something, dear. You must have been the facts. Because you didn't care about my feelings.
I love that meme. Trigger warning, misogyny, hate speech, the whole nine, y'all.
Very different. The reason why women make less money than men is not because of gender, it's because of choice. Here's the reality. Men on average work more hours. They work more dangerous jobs that pay more. They go into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Women go into jobs that pay less, social work, nursing, teaching, etc. Okay? And also, women take more vacation, paternity leave, etc. Women don't
okay,
argue for higher
dude.
wages like men do.
I eat one meal a day. One meal. Let me fucking live, guys. I eat one meal a day. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Oh, come on, bro. Also, he's not pausing enough.
They're more agreeable. And that's just the reality. Women make less because of choice, not because of gender. Number one.
Dude, this video, I need to find this video, by the way. Like the original video that he's reacting to, because that seems fucking awesome.
It's illegal to pay a woman less because of the Labor Act in the 70s. And then number
still
two,
going.
let's just use common sense here. You're an economist. If I could really get away with paying women 80 cents on the dollar, I would never hire a fucking man. I would hire only women.
Never.
I will make significantly more money, more profit, and I could pay them less. But you can't do that. The thing is this. That
He's
statistic,
still
the wage
going.
gap, where it's derived from, it does not account for degrees held, experience, type of job.
Yeah, this is how you know. This is a bad parody. Now I'm just kidding. This dude's awesome. But I'm not just saying that because he's very clearly a HasanAbi head. And I defend HasanAbi heads. I'm ride or die. But also, you know, if I were to do a parody of someone like this, I would probably pause a little bit more. He's paused 0 times. He's only speaking over the video, which I never do.
Job work, whatever. I don't see all the women fighting to do offshore drilling, to do any type of manual labor. Women go for jobs that are comfortable and safe in an office that are air conditioned.
He's
that
still
tend to make less
going.
money and tend to be more socially oriented. And then, if you look at Scandinavian countries, shout out to Jordan Peterson, right? We're going to meet him tomorrow.
Shout out to him.
Which is even more egalitarian and more equal than the United States. They found that when you give women more equality, which is the most equal countries in the world, they actually make even less money because of their choices. They want to go into fields that pay less. So, and here's the other thing too.
Oh my
women
God.
go to college more than men now.
I love this guy said, he's not wrong though. No, you're right, dude. Women actually... isn't he right about the fact that women are more often in lower paid jobs, or do I have it twisted? Can you explain a little bit about that, please? I haven't done the 2014, 2015 era Gamergate style, like women are actually paid less because they want to be paid less arguments, but part of that is because there's no paternity leave and there's a limited amount of maternity leave. This, of course, sets back women dramatically in the workforce. Women also are less likely to negotiate as a consequence of like being bullied in the workplace, or as a consequence of just like not speaking out with as a product of the system itself. They should obviously, in a fair situation, get paid the same for the same amount of work that they're putting in, but they often don't, because that is how capitalism works. They will get away, your bosses will get away with paying you the least amount that they can get away with, and they will take advantage of certain structures such as that. Another reason... What? Anyway, another reason, except for the fact that Scandinavia is the only region of the world with female heads of state. Traditionally, female occupied occupations are paid less for those very same reasons as well. Obviously, like do you feel like teachers, nurses, and social workers? These are industries that are dominated by women. Do you think that they are doing undesirable work? No, of course not. It's just what people can get away with not paying you. But ultimately, like I said, maternity leave is a part of it. Like, and because of that, and because of the many fucking generations of women not being in the workplace, it has taken a long ass time for women to actually be elevated in the positions of power, managerial positions, into boards. And if you don't have women in positions of power in your workplace, and this might come as a surprise to many of you, you end up hiring and also uplifting other men into positions of power in said workplace, which of course reinforces that very same dynamic.
Colleges are dominated by women. Almost 3/4 of college attendees now are women. And they still choose to go into fields that make less money. And the men still dominate science, technology, engineering, and math, which need a college degree. So the women choose not to go into those fields, and that is why they get paid less. They don't want to go into STEM. And then on top of that, if a woman does want to go into STEM or get into a field that is male dominated,
He's still going.
They're they're gonna have an overwhelming advantage because of affirmative action.
That's
So the
also bullshit.
Wage gap myth does not exist. It's a fallacy. It's been debunked a million times. Women don't get paid less because they have a vagina. Women get paid less because they choose to do certain things that make less money, and that's a fact.
All right, y'all. What we just watched was Myron Gish Gallop. That dump of nonsensical bullshit. That was him Gish Galloping. It's what these guys do. It will leave them looking like super debate chads and have you looking dumb, like you don't know what you're talking about. But let's entertain this for 1 second, and let's say some of those arguments did sound pretty reasonable. But to claim that the wage gap has been debunked a million times and is a myth is a pretty heavy statement. Okay, so I'm just curious where he got this information from. Let's go here. Show more. All right, guys.
Uncage your gorilla mind.
Fresh. Oh, studies, link trees. Okay. Fresh and fit research links. All right, guys. Bear with me. Where is it? Where is it? Wage gap, a link tree dedicated to more wage gap myths. Okay, this is where it gets juicy. Negotiation. All right, he said something about negotiation, right? Women not being able to negotiate higher wages, and that's why they make less money.
Women don't argue for higher.
Wait, that's true though. But the difference between women not negotiating for higher pay versus men negotiating for higher pay also still goes back to that exact same fucking thing that I mentioned, which is that there are more men in positions of power. It's a boys' club for a reason. And even when women do negotiate, they have a lesser chance of success during that negotiation.
Wages like men do. They're more agreeable.
Okay.
The idea
so let's
of like
click
them
on
being
that.
agreeable is
the first
bullshit.
link in the wage tree link tree. Let's see what this one says. Okay, gender pay disparity. Women don't negotiate. Okay, that's a pretty clickbaity headline. Let's see what it says. Gender pay disparity is a deeply ingrained and tenacious reality for the professional woman of the 21st century. Pay disparity implies that women receive less pay as compared to men for doing the same job. In November 2015, the Economic Policy Institute of the USA verified this fact and stated, this gender wage gap is a persistent
EPI.
economic problem. Women still make 82.9% of men's wages. Y'all, in the first link in this link tree dedicated to wage gap myths, it literally states that the wage gap is a fact. God, I can't make this up, y'all. The first link that they link to in the first paragraph says the wage gap is real.
Women advocating for themselves who a male supervisor is often viewed as complaining, whereas for men it's viewed as being assertive. There's that reality too. Ultimately, capital owners are going to use everything that they can, okay? Capital owners are going to use every little negotiation, bargaining chip that they can. And if sexism is one of those bargaining chips, of course they're going to do that, because like every industry relies on using every inch you can to squeeze out as many profits as possible. So, of course, fresh and fit guys aren't personally saying that the wage gap is a myth, or maybe they kind of said that because they're fucking idiots, but they're basically trying to describe why the wage gap exists. And when they're describing why the wage gap exists, they dive into sexist ass takes and attitudes. And just like when I'm describing this person who is, doing a better job than I am, I should probably unpause their video. I will dive into the top of the hour ad break and tell you at the top of the hour, every hour, there's a 60-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month, or by getting gifted a sub. Yeah, they said the wage gap is a myth, but he said the wage gap is a myth, but what he's doing technically there is trying to describe why there's a wage disparity between women's wages and men's wages. Do you understand? Here's the 1 minute ad break now, by the way. Boys, thank you. Sloth Artwork 94 for the 5 gifted.
It has been proven.
But let's continue. This might be setting us up for a gotcha or something. So let's continue throughout this article. The World Economic Forum ranked 142 countries on the Global Gender Pay Index in 2015. The United States, the most economically developed and advanced country in the world, was ranked at the 28th position. It trailed far behind developing countries such as Rwanda, ranked 6th, Philippines, ranked 7th, and Slovenia, ranked 10th. Nevertheless, these rankings verified the fact that gender pay disparity is a global phenomenon. This report also concluded that with present policies, it would take 118 years, or until 2133, to close the pay gap completely. The National Center for Education Statistics states that females are expected to account for the majority of college students. About 11.5 million females will attend in fall 2015, compared with 8.7 million males. When women excel in education and skills, then why is it so difficult for them to close the pay disparity? Part of the answer lies in multiple articles and books that have been published to analyze the factors affecting the pay disparity, including women's lack of negotiating skills. Alright, so while Myron and Walter were 100% wrong about the wage gap being a myth, this does state that negotiation is a factor in the wage gap. So maybe Myron isn't as stupid as we think he is. Maybe. Maybe he's not a complete idiot, mate. I mean, excuse me. I mean, intellectually lazy. Sorry. And you know what? I'm gonna save y'all some time.
Come on,
This
bro.
article is focused on women not negotiating, and when they do, not negotiating effectively. The 5 reasons they list as to why women don't negotiate are: 1, lack of self-confidence. The article pretty much says that being in a male-dominated work environment makes women doubt themselves more. And 2, social and cultural stereotypes. Once again, the article will be linked below.
You know this is not your average African, right? What? No, it's not. Shut the fuck up. I said, no, it's not. Fuck you, nice bathroom. I hate to dox them.
Below, but the article pretty much says traditional gender rules pertaining to men being breadwinners and women being caretakers lead women to accepting whatever wages are offered them. And number 3, guys, this is the most interesting one, by the way. This is the one I find most interesting.
Damn, HasanAbi Clips Industrial Complex is getting so crazy they started hiring people to do Hasan videos. Yeah. At least they brought some fucking diversity, dude. Holy shit. Constantly having some fucking honky yap all day, every day about like, oh, women's issues, oh, black issues, like stay out of black people's business, Hasan. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
Social cost. Research has confirmed that female candidates experience...
I called myself that, and also that's, as far as I know, not one of the banned words, okay?
Extensive backlash from male as well as female evaluators in salary negotiations. Researchers stated men were always less willing to work with a woman who had attempted to negotiate than a woman who did not. They always preferred to work with a woman who stayed mum. Now that's a quote from the article Fresh and Fit linked to. One of the articles that debunk the wage gap myth. Oh my God, these guys are stupid. And number 4, economic recession. This article states economic recessions make women more docile and...
I love this take, sorry. You're completely wrong and straight up ignore the facts here. There's no wage gap. Men earn more because they choose jobs like doctor or lawyer, but women choose jobs that pay less, like female doctor or female lawyer. Oh no. Oh, that's so funny. That's great.
Which sounds pretty gender neutral to me, but whatever. And 5, this is the kicker, guys. Lack of negotiating skills. And then this article goes on to teach women how to negotiate.
Shatter stole that.
One
Shut
of
the
the
fuck
tips
up.
for
Everyone
negotiate
steals everything.
is be nice and act like a woman. A quote from the article states, "First, women must come across as being nice, concerned about others, and appropriately female. When women take a more instrumental approach, this is what I want and deserve, people react far more negatively." Now, guys, I don't really like this article. And also that needing to censor other people in your justifications for why you should earn your fair wage is something that should just be expected and something you should learn how to do instead of being a hard pill to swallow, but one that may be necessary in our current patriarchal climate. It uncritically sets up women needing to needing to censor other people in their justifications for why they should earn their fair wages as an expected thing to do. I don't know if that makes sense, y'all. But despite that, and this article also misdating the Lilly Ledbetter Act, and when that was signed into law, they say it was signed into law in 2002 by President Obama when he didn't take office till 2009. And it was 2009 when that really important thing was signed into law, by the way. But despite all of those things that I don't like about this article, it concludes by saying that there needs to be systemic changes put into place and laws need to be signed to ensure that fair wages across all genders are guaranteed. This literally calls for systemic change to end the wage gap. Come on, y'all.
Guys, why do you keep pointing this out? Yes, he's like obviously a chatter. Chatters fucking hate other chatters in the wild. It's so funny. Like, yeah, he's clearly doing a parody, man. How did you not get it? That's the joke. Okay? Jesus Christ, dude. You guys like literally cringe at the sight of like anyone who is who resembles you in any capacity. You're like, what the fuck? Fuck him, dude. Calm down, bro. He's great. He's doing a great job. This is like a new content creator. I think he's doing great.
Come on. Fresh and Fit can't be this dumb. They can't be this dumb. They just can't be. It took Myron like 2 minutes to bust out all of that bullshit lyric, and it took me pages.
Like the chatter typing that literally probably has a pearl necklace, painted fucking nails, and most likely wearing a beanie and a graphic tee, being like, wow, this guy really fucking sucks, huh? This guy really fucking sucks. The amount of fucking dudes I see in the wild that come up to me and are like, yo, I love the show, whatever. I know how to spot you from a mile away because I know you, all you motherfuckers wear painted nails now, okay? Every single one of you, which there's nothing wrong with, okay? That's awesome. Glad you're able to express yourself. I think it looks cool. I like it. It's just so funny, though, that you're, like, turning around and, like, shitting on someone else who's doing the same thing.
Bro, in order to disprove. And he gave me the link. I mean, he's just grifting. He's just a grifter, and his audience is stupid. One other claim was that women choose lower paying work. And there was one other link that I thought was interesting that I wanted to share with y'all. Let me see if I can't find it. It was from The Atlantic. All right, here we go. I just found it. Why are women still choosing the lowest paying jobs? This is from The Atlantic, okay, y'all?
Are they choosing the jobs that are lowest paying? Or are jobs that are heavily dominated by women usually lower paying jobs, despite how important they might be to a productive industry?
Which we all know The Atlantic is top tier, peer-reviewed statistical knowledge, but the perfect source for your claim that the wage gap is false. Is a myth, made up, just a fairy tale. Yeah, The Atlantic. Yeah. God, this article is essentially talking about women choosing to study trades that earn less money, like cosmetology and whatnot, over trades like welding. Again, the article will be linked below, so you can read it at your leisure if you'd like. But the part of the article that I want to talk about actually talks about the pay difference between a male cosmetologist and female cosmetologists. And this is and I think this will be very interesting to read also. Keep in mind, this is their source, not mine. They linked to this, I didn't. Man, this article is long as y'all. I read all of this, by the way. I read this whole thing. Feel free to do the same. All right, here it is. The median salary for male cosmetologists is $39,100 according to the Georgia Town Center. For women, it's $24,700. Y'all, this is their link. There is their link, and let me just walk y'all through that, just in case y'all need help. Let me just walk y'all through that. In the lower paying field, cosmetology, there is a massive pay difference based on gender, right? A wage gap. Y'all, there's a wage gap. There is a gender-based wage gap here in a woman-dominated field. This is their link, y'all, not mine. And you know what? They made it really easy for me because they said the wage gap is bullshit and it's a myth and it's 100% based on choice.
So the wage gap myth does not exist. It's a fallacy. It's been debunked a million times. Women don't get paid less because they have a vagina. Women get paid less because they choose to do certain things that make less money, and that's a fact.
Really easy to debunk that. In fact, you can use their own research to debunk that. And y'all, I don't know how long they're going to keep it up after I post this video, so be sure to check out those links and read them for yourself. All right, we have a few options here for what happened. Fresh and Fit saw a catchy headline and thought, oh yeah, this is definitely something that agrees with our point, and never bothered reading it. And honestly, my money's on that one. Or they read it and they realized it actually didn't do the thing that they wanted it to do,
LMFAO.
which was to say the wage gap is a myth and it's 100% women's fault for making less money than men, even in female-dominated industries. Which it didn't do that, because that is bullshit, okay? Let's make it very clear. The wage gap is real, even according to their own sources. Now, there was a lot of discourse about why the wage gap exists, but to say that it doesn't exist, well, that's really easy to debunk, and you're gonna find a really hard time finding someone that says the wage gap doesn't exist, because oh my god, y'all feel me on this. Oh my god, y'all feel me. I know you get what I'm saying, y'all. It's just let's move on. Fresh and Fit lied about the wage gap. Let's see what else they were lying about, shall we?
Clear some things. I took some notes. So, number one, a woman can't raise children by herself. I don't care what you guys say. If you look at statistics, single mother households are a huge predicator on a child becoming a degenerate for society, drug addict, criminal, whatever it is. Okay, a woman cannot raise children by herself, and she definitely can't teach a son how to be a man by herself.
Facts.
You need that masculine, presence there.
No, you don't. That's bullshit. And you can still have a masculine presence that's a woman, but also, study after study has concluded that two-parent households outperform single-parent households, but the main factor that needs to be placed into consideration is finances. Two-parent households have more disposable income. Two-parent households have more free time where both parents can actually engage in, growing a child. But it doesn't matter, because those studies have also shown you can have two moms, two dads. Doesn't fucking matter. As long as there are two parents, or at least like financial stability. That's it. That's it.
It's required. And it's a huge predicator on a child being successful. Now, are there single moms out there that raise children that are productive members of society? Absolutely. But the chances significantly decrease if there's not a father at home to some degree, because your father is the disciplinarian. I always say it. Dads keep daughters off stripper poles and sons out of jail. It is what it is, right?
What was that claim? Single mothers being a huge predicator for a child becoming a degenerate?
Single mother households are a huge predicator on a child becoming a degenerate for society, drug addict, criminal.
That's interesting. Let's check out his research links here for this studies.
The rise of 5 facts about
single parent. 5 facts about today's single fathers. Yeah, let's check that one out. The second link in his Linktree study.
What the fuck is this? FamilyStudies.com? What the fuck is that?
Scroll down. Okay. Number 5. While the research on single fathers is limited, studies show that children in single father families fare about as well as children in single mother families on many outcomes, although there are differences. Okay. With a few possible exceptions, the children of single fathers do about as well in terms of internalizing behavior and academic performance, sometimes better. However, the children of single fathers appear to be more likely to participate in externalizing behavior and substance abuse. As of yet, the few studies of young adults as opposed to adolescents do not seem to indicate significant long-term differences as related to marriage, teen birth, and divorce between those reared in single father versus single mother homes. Holy shit. Did he lie? Was he just lying?
Single mother households are a huge predicator on a child becoming a degenerate for society, drug addict, criminal. Your father is the disciplinarian. I always say it. Dads keep daughters off stripper poles and sons out of jail. It is what it is, right?
He was just 100% lying, wasn't he? According to his own research that he linked to, that you think he would read, he was just lying.
Of course, he never read any of this shit. Obviously. He just post hoc added some fucking data points that probably he hired someone to fucking put together.
Interesting. Look, being a single parent is not ideal, but instead of actually going to the roots of single parenthood, they just settle on blaming women. That's just their go-to. That's their one-trick pony. That's all they know how to do is just blame women for everything. It said single fathers sometimes do better. Why are you not talking about that? Okay, dumb. The article said sometimes, in parentheses, and then it went on to say, from the limited research, single father kids are more likely to participate in substance abuse. And from this study, there's not even substantial data to prove single father households are better anyway, according to the research. And then on top of that, they proceed to lie about their own research. How dense do y'all have to be, bro? Oh my God. Look, and it's either they're lying or they just didn't read the studies that they linked to. And I don't know which one's better. Really, is it better if they're lying about it, or is it better if they just didn't read it and they just put it there to make it look like they did that? They just put it there knowing that their audience was too stupid and too lazy to actually do any research, because ding ding ding, if you blame women for it, the misogynists are just going to accept it uncritically. Crazy how that works. Crazy how that works. Look, I could go on for hours about these dog links. Most of these are unpeer-reviewed, uncredible, bullshit articles, and then the studies that actually have some merit to them just disagree with Myron and Walter flat out. Oh, like this one right here, biology, survival, men versus women, and it's just a link to a YouTube video. A YouTube video from another fucking red pill misogynist grifter. Think before you sleep. Now, I don't know if I need to say this, but I will. A YouTube video from some random red pill YouTuber is not actually scientific evidence. It's not actually a credible argument for biology. What about this one? It's the reality of biology, and it's just a race. It's just a race, a YouTube race. This isn't the reality of biology. What, like? It's literally just a race. Or there's this one. Biology. FC Dallas under 15 boy squad beat the U.S. women's national team from world champions to humbling defeat against under 15's side. World Cup winning USA women's teams.
Bro, these are so old. It's from 2017. Oh God, I love these. Like, so many YouTubers have done debunking videos on every single one of these like talking points that these guys are rehashing. I'm getting like PTSD flashbacks to like 2016, 2017 Gamergate era of like all the fucking dumbass neck-bearded alt-right weirdos that these guys are kind of fucking stealing their bits, for the record. This is straight up like the world champions, the numbing defeat against the under 15 side. Like, if I recall, I don't even remember, but like that, I think it was like the women's team, but it wasn't the actual women's team. It was like the secondary team. It was a friendly game. It wasn't like fucking a serious competition. Even then, it's a singular fucking singular game, and it doesn't actually like, you know, it was their bench team in a friendly scrimmage, and that doesn't. Even if it was like actually real though, like this doesn't imply anything, you know what I mean? Even if it was like literally the first team playing all their stars playing as under 15s, like that doesn't prove anything that you think it's proving, considering that it's a fucking singular game, you know what I mean? I literally remember this article, yeah, because it's like so heavily utilized. It's like all of the greatest hits. And even dumbasses in the chat, like it's so good for propaganda. Because it 100% just reinforces the pre-established, preconceived notions that you already have. Grown women lost a 14-year-old kid. See, J. Kitty immediately was like, oh, lol, omega lol. Okay, dude. Like, one thing about sports is that, a better team can sometimes lose to a way worse team. It happens. That's the beauty of sports, okay? Even then, though, there are factors that played into why this happened, okay? If you've never watched a sport game, and I assume that if you are one of those neck-bearded fucking weirdos, you are going to... Is he wrong, though? We get it. You're a white knight. Dude, I am not a white knight, okay? I am not a white knight. The only time I white knight is when I fuck your mom, all right? And you should be excited to have a positive male figure in your house once again, and you're grounded. One of the mods grounded you just now. Motherfucker said white knight, dude. Hasan is an old man now. Hasan is a Freemason 100%. What? Motherfucker said White Knight is 2016, dude.
Suffer 5-2 loss against Dallas Academy boys. First of all, it was a practice match, all right? And it was their warm-up game before their actual match, the women's team. It was their warm-up game. And second of all, look at these boys, bro. This guy's a giant. And it was a practice match. This article from the Daily Mail doesn't really offer much in the way of biology or scientific facts. Fresh and Fit just saw it and thought it would make women look weak and frail. Women losing a soccer match doesn't mean that we as a society should stop striving for equality and equal pay, and that women don't deserve independence and the autonomy over their bodies and the right to post whatever they want to Instagram. Also, this line of reasoning leads to trans exclusionary outcomes as well. We also need to recognize that. In another article about the negotiation of wages and how an I-we strategy that doesn't censor the women asking for a raise has been found to have higher success rates that they link to, it's there's a quote, y'all. There's a quote that I ripped off, and it goes like this. I should acknowledge that this idea of using relational accounts or I-we strategies drives some women crazy. It makes them feel like they are bending to unjust stereotypes or simply being inauthentic. I sympathize with that reaction. We were surprised while doing the research that it would be so hard to make the backlash effects go away. But every move.
The NBA Dream Team lost to a scrimmage game. One of the most dominant forces in athletics lost a scrimmage game to a college team. Which, by the way, ironically, you will not see a million fucking articles about the women team losing to the fucking 15-year-olds, right? But you will see, if you look up, if you Google like Dream Team lost the college team, you'll see 100 articles clarifying exactly why that loss happened. Okay? Do you want to know why? Because it was in a similar circumstance where it was a fucking scrimmage game. Okay? And the people on that college team were future NBA players, so it was a really good fucking team as well. And then they played again on that team and they fucking dunked on them. Okay? They played again and they dunked on them. And that's something that happens in fucking sports all the goddamn time. But the reason why you see these articles clarifying the one game that the Dream Team lost did not happen during the Olympics, and like a million articles clarifying is because it's male competition. So obviously they were interested in protecting the integrity of the fucking Dream Team versus the American female sports team losing, the national team losing to like 15-year-olds is seen as like a great opportunity to reinforce the same kind of fucking dynamics that you have reinforced time and time again about how women suck, okay, and are not good at sports. There are a million different factors that go into consideration when you look at why a team loses against the worst team overall, okay?
Movement needs its idealists and pragmatists, and I am playing the pragmatist here. Do you really think that article would agree with Fresh and Fit on anything that they've spit on their podcast? No, yet they still threw it on their link tree. And I honestly don't know if they're just stupid or being intentionally malicious or if they just think their audience are full of dumb, which, you know what, to be fair, they are. They are. Lazy, red pill, dumbass is who watch Fresh and Fit, so they can get away with doing bullshit like this. It's crazy because this is taking a critical stance on the fact women need to maneuver around misogyny in order to secure and negotiate.
I agree, but I'm still never going to watch WNBA. No, man, I don't watch it either. I'm just saying that, like, it's so fucking stupid that that it's that easy to make propaganda that corresponds to preconceived biases that we are conditioned into believing. It is super fucking easy to cut propaganda like that. Okay? Pushing back against that is much harder because then you're going to see a fucking sea of people. You're going to see a sea of people being like, oh, you're wrong, actually. Women do suck, bro.
Proper wages for themselves. How is that saying that the wage gap is a myth? The answer is it's not. Fresh and Fit are just dumb grifters with an even dumber audience. I'm done with Fresh and Fit. I am done with like this This is like the nail in the coffin. It doesn't get any better than this. Their own research disagrees with them. You know what, y'all? I can't with this podcast. I can't. Let me just... Welcome to the abyss that is the end of the video, where ideas go to die. And I can say anything I want because the only people left are the people who actually like the video. To be or not to be? What is the meaning of existence? Why am I here? I need another pillow. That's what I know. Holy shit. If I know, but what I do know is that I need to clarify that I don't actually think Myron and his henchmen are stupid. It's fun to say, makes the script writing easy, but the reality is what they do takes a huge level of skill and precision. Like winning your 4th game of beer pong after losing 3. They live stream, to my knowledge, pretty much every show that they do, and are really good at bad faith debate bro tactics. They're no better than a Tucker Carlson when he's in his bag. After sitting with this video for some time, I believe they are actively weaponizing the misogyny of their viewers. Misogyny, by the way, is defined as dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women. Just in case you're confronted by them IRL and need to recite it verbatim.
Do you know what the definition of misogyny is?
Got him! Got him!
Okay, I'm done acting. Maybe. If you got all the references in this video, I am thoroughly impressed. At the end of the day, I don't even know where to begin to try to solve this problem that goes way beyond a fresh and fit. They're just exposing the hatred and drawing it out for the rest of the world to see, and ultimately, I sympathize heavily with the black men who watch Fresh and Fit. Bell Hooks, in her book Feminism is for Everybody, talks about how the feminist movement and the definition of it has been muddied and co-opted by people and organizations that have no real interest in actually dismantling sexism and the patriarchy. We have TERFs, the white-centered feminism, hell, the girl boss feminism, and those are not actually feminist movements. To go further, feminism without intersectionality is not feminism. Which leads us to the fact that black men don't interact with the patriarchy the same way white men do, because the patriarchy does not exist without white supremacy. While all men are stripped of their emotional being, it's amplified for black men and boys. And then we have to talk about class and how that plays into the whole mix, and that's just a whole nother video entirely. You know, there's only so much, there's only so much charitability that can be afforded a Fresh and Fit. To sympathize or try to rationalize with Fresh and Fit on any grounds is ridiculous, because they're just grifters. I hope by this point I have made that very clear, because the information is out there. They even link straight to it. I learned so much in the making of this video thanks to Fresh and Fit. They linked me to all of the links that I never would have found otherwise. Thanks, I guess. The thing is, they are not actually interested in bettering the lives of the black men who tune in to watch them, right? Because that's the source of their grift. If they actually help the men who come looking for guidance, well, then they lose their customer base. They lose their viewers. No, Fresh and Fit only care about the money. It is so obvious at this point that the fact that I'm making this video right now might be redundant, but it has been months in the making, so like, I'm gonna get it out there, hopefully soon, before people stop talking about Fresh and Fit. I started this back in like, what, March? This shit's crazy, bro. Oh my God. And this is gonna get like, what, 100 views maybe? We'll see. And I'm not trying to make excuses for the men who watch them, y'all. The men who watch them literally only tune in.
Someone sent it to me. His video popped off a little bit for a young channel, for a new channel. And someone in this community sent it, but he's like obviously in this community as well. So yeah, go and support this young black king who is also a HasanAbi head. It seems like FD Signifier also promoted him, which is great.